Hello, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for your dedication and commitment to your practice. If you've watched these videos before, you've heard me say that before, but it's worth our taking the time to really consider how important it really is that you're watching this video amidst all of the content out there, all of the information, all of the misinformation, all of the drama, all of the stuff, and everything else that you could be paying attention to on the wide world of the internet, whatever that really is. You're here, and that is huge. In fact, the time that you take out of your busy day or your busy evening, your dedication and commitment to your spirituality. Another way of thinking of that is your dedication and commitment to your practice is the best offering you can make anyone, anywhere, at any time. Nothing remotely comes close to that. Nothing at all. Think of the impact that it actually has. It's huge. It's beyond our greatest imagination. And hopefully, we have pretty vivid imaginations on that score. I mean, obviously, we do, because we've imagined all of this insanity. But think about the impact of something just so simple as an act of love, an act of kindness, an act of forgiveness. And in a world where we're bombarded by the breakneck pace of the latest news, no matter where we're from in the world, and if you're just tuning in, I reside in the United States, so there's a lot going on right now, which is just as true today as it has ever been. This is true every day, no matter where we are, because we all need the guidance of the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher, and you're taking the time out of whatever it is that you're involved in today to pay attention to the Holy Spirit's message is of tremendous, far reaching benefit that we can only just begin to imagine. And I'm sure you can imagine quite a lot. So I thank you for that. And well, we could end the video with that right there. But let's say some more here. We're on chapter 25 here in the text, in this apparently linear progression of videos. We're going through the text as it's laid out. We're in chapter 25, section 2. And as we wrap the section up today, let's just reiterate the importance of forgiveness. Yes, you've heard that before. All spiritual traditions repeat the same ideas over and over again. A Course in Miracles stresses, repeats, and invites us to forgive. The idea of forgiveness is the practical centerpiece, in fact, of being a student of this course, of doing the course. Because if your doing the course does not involve forgiveness, it's not doing the course. Quite frankly, this is the centerpiece. Now, a lot can be said, and a lot is said about forgiveness. There are numerous commentaries, excellent commentaries, in print, online, about what the Course refers to as forgiveness. True forgiveness is a name by which it is known, and that's, yeah, accurate. It's the type of forgiveness that the Course teaches and invites us to engage in. That's what the centerpiece is. It's not, by the way, forgiveness as the world sees it, which maintains a sense of separation. Separation is the error, the single and only error that needs to be corrected. It appears to take many forms, 8 billion plus, for starters. Separation is the error. It's simply a mistake. An error calls for correction, and in following the guidance of our inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, we're accepting and we're invited to accept in our mind as many times as we think about it. We're invited to accept what the Course refers to as atonement for ourselves. Atonement does not mean getting back at anybody. It does not mean a revenge tour, getting back at one's perceived enemies and stuff like that. Atonement is the correction of error in our mind. We're accepting the correction of the Holy Spirit, who corrects our perception. We don't see things as they are. We're invited to see them as they are. Atonement is the correction of our inner teacher. Central to this is the acknowledgement, not the wild, mad supposition, but the acknowledgement, the acceptance of the fact that this perceived separation from God never occurred, ever. It is not possible. You're not separate from God. You've always known that, by the way. Doesn't mean that you've listened to that message, but you sure have listened to it quite a lot in order to be here paying attention to this. Right? Right. There is no separation at all. And this does mean that we're not separate from our brother. We're not separate from anyone else as we see it here in the world. Because, yes, we still see ourselves as 8 billion plus living, breathing, shrieking, screaming, panicking human beings, full of anxiety, guilt, hatred, blame, and fear. Yeah. And all the stuff that we think passes for real life, which is not our real life at all, because the separation from God that we think happened, that we've wanted, in fact, to believe has happened, as unflattering as that may be, and it is unflattering, it's simply a mistake. It never occurred. So mistakes call for correction. We accept the Holy Spirit's correction of our perception. It will help us to see right past the veneer, the surface level, to the truth of what is. So, how do we do this? We practice it. We deliberately practice forgiveness, true forgiveness of the Son of God. We see our brother as he is. We formulate the wish to see him as he really is, and we forgive. Forgiveness here, as it's taught in A Course in Miracles, does not maintain the sense of separation, as does forgiveness as the world sees it. As the world sees it, there is often a hierarchy involved, where one person stoops, deigns to forgive another's transgressions against him or her. There is separation built into the equation, assumed wrongly, of course, and the whole thing's predicated on somebody stooping to someone else's level. There are no levels. There's no better than, there's no higher, there's no lower. So, as the world conceives of forgiveness, the sense of separation is deliberately maintained. I mean, maybe it doesn't seem like the person means to maintain the sense of separation, but they often do. My mother was a perfect example of this in this lifetime. She was an expert. Maybe some of you can relate. An expert in forgiveness as the world sees it, stooping or deigning to forgive the transgressions, the apparent transgressions of an unruly son, i.e., a younger version of me who did some stuff. Yet this type of forgiveness is always with a string attached. There's a threat of punishment that goes along with it. Yeah, I'll forgive you this time, but if you ever do it again, I'm going to cancel your birthday and you'll never drive again. You'll never leave the house again. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, of course you will. You have to go to school, but only there. And the incident is frequently revisited by the one who has supposedly forgiven and established conditions, separations. You see where that goes. The one forgiving often feels superior. The one that has been forgiven, supposedly, often feels inferior, especially if the forgiver reminds him or her of the supposed transgression over and over again, Mom. Maybe you can relate to that. That's just one example. But I offer it here on these videos from time to time to illustrate a point. Forgiveness as the Holy Spirit teaches it and shows us has nothing to do at all with separation. It looks right past it to the truth of what your brother is. You're invited to see him as he really is, the Son of God. Something we can all relate to. Doesn't mean we want to believe it, but we can all relate to the fact that as you see your brother, you see yourself. This takes many forms in the world. I mean, it takes the form of the so-called golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? Love thy neighbor as thyself. Oh, yeah. Yes, right? Why? Your neighbor is you. Not related to you, not similar to you, not the same age, the same height, the same ethnic group, the same nationality, none of that. You, literally. We're not a body, by the way. As you know, this is spirituality we're talking about. There's more to it than simply this. You do know that. Acknowledge it if you want to. You don't have to. This is a pixelated image on your screen that's not going to make you. Ever. You can only choose to do it yourself. So the more exposure that we gain to these ideas, the more we are invited and hopefully inspired to put them into practice so that we may awaken. How do we do this? We learn to see our brother as he really is. Whom do we see then as he really is? Yeah, ourselves, not the body, of course, ourselves. As you see your brother, you see yourself. Do you see a hardened criminal? Do you see a treacherous expletive? Or do you see him as he really is, the Son of God? Here's something about the Son of God that we all need to know. It's all inclusive and refers to everybody, not simply the historical Jesus, who, of course, is known as the Son of God. Now, commonly here in the world, we stop at that and don't stop to realize that, hmm, we're all the Son of God, singular. There's no separation of any kind. God is the creator, we're the created, but it's not a separation at all. Like extends like. We're known as the extension of God, the thought of God. Like extends like. Love extends love, not hatred. God extends himself. He doesn't extend something else because there is nothing else. God is, period. What's implicit in that two-word, two-syllable statement, which recurs throughout A Course in Miracles, God is, it's very important. Nothing else is. God is the only reality. All else is illusion. Bodies are illusion. Yeah, we appear to be here. So if you're into working out, work out. If you're into healthy food, eat healthy food. Why is that important? Your brother needs you. This is a form that he or she can relate to, isn't it? What's talking to you right now? It's not Reverend Tomas Garza. This is a pixelated image on your screen. It's a collection of dots put together by this weird thing that I'm looking at called a video camera, a webcam. This weird thing called a microphone captures the sound that appears to be coming from here. It's just an appearance. I mean, it's all reproduced and broadcast onto this thing called a screen that we're all looking at. Wherever you're watching this, whether it's on your phone or on a larger computer screen, doesn't matter. It's the same projection. The message is from the Holy Spirit. When something connects for you, resonates, lands, it's Him. Really, you may 100% count on that. Worth also considering is the fact that you're here for a reason, especially if you've watched to this point. There's a message here for you, perhaps many more than just one. So we're all invited today to forgive, to see our brother as he really, truly is. As you see him, you see yourself. As you begin to do this, you'll know how powerful this is. This course is best learned by putting it into practice, by doing it. That's how we learn A Course in Miracles, by doing it. Intellectual understanding is good. Sure, of course it is. It has some value. Greater still is the practical value of doing it. Our experience then shows us, it demonstrates to us that these ideas are true. That's powerful. And that's how we learn. Forgive, 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 forgive. If you're not sure how, ask. First and foremost, ask the Holy Spirit for guidance. When you do, you're getting out of your own way. That is a very powerful way of setting the ego aside, asking for the guidance of your inner teacher, listening to your inner teacher instead of the ego. Ego doesn't know what to do. but the Holy Spirit does. So the more we attune ourselves to this voice, the voice of our inner teacher, which, by the way, is known throughout A Course in Miracles by many names, including the voice for God, when we learn to listen to this voice, we'll know what to do. Another way of looking at that, we'll be guided as to what to do. We'll know what to do. We'll know what to say and to whom. We'll know where to go, if anywhere, to do it. The more we practice it, the clearer this guidance becomes. Those of you who've been doing it for a while know exactly what I'm talking about. You do not see things after a while the same way ever again. That's the point. So ask your inner teacher for guidance. And also, you're welcome to ask me or any other teacher here in the world what passes for the world for guidance. The comment thread here on YouTube is, in fact, a very good place to do just that. So if you have questions, please feel welcome to leave them here. And if it's something, by the way, that you'd rather not share with a worldwide audience, then do let me know that, because I'm always able to address questions on email as well. So that's an option that's available to you. And if it's something that you don't mind sharing, you'll benefit not only yourself, but also multiple people across this wobbling, spinning ball of rock whom you're not likely to meet in person in this lifetime. So you can really help a lot of people that way. It's a very good use of this technological tool. It really is. So if you have questions, I welcome them. Please feel welcome to leave them here. I'm here to serve as a guide for you. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do that. That's the prompt over here. It's in the corner of your screen. Click that icon. You'll be invited to join us, and several videos pop up here each week. So I will see you on the next one, and please don't hesitate to ask questions that you may have. Okay? Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.